Bienvenidos! Today for grammar we're going to talk about contractions, short and sweet. Contracciones, we have a ton of these that exist in English, so some English examples first. This is when two separate words are going to be combined to become one. So on the left we have the original words, and on the right we have the contractions. So instead of I have, I've. Do not, don't. Cannot, can't. Is not, isn't. So these words on the right are contractions, contracciones. We're taking two words and creating a shortened form. Now in Espanol, we can do this also. Now in Espanol, there's far fewer contractions. There's actually only two in the language. So it's pretty easy to remember them once you've been introduced to them. There's two little formulas we need to keep in mind. So two scenarios when a contraction could happen. If the word a is next to the word el, that's going to cause one. And if the word de is next to the word el, that's going to cause the second contraction in the Spanish language. So it's helpful to remember what these words mean, so you'll be able to recognize that they're in the sentence and they're potentially side by side. So a, remember, could be the a personal. So when an action is done to a person and a shows up to give that person respect. You can see my other video about that if you're a little rusty, or it could mean the word to. El, on the other hand, means the. Now, we want to make sure that we have the definite article here, el. This is not he. There's no accent mark above this. It's the. Now, when these two words are side by side, they form a contraction. So instead of a and el separately, they become al. The reason that happens is because of these two vowels. It's hard to get that space in, so it's much easier just to collapse the two words into one. Now, de, for our second contraction, can mean of or from. And again, we've got el again for the. Remember, this is a definite article. It is not the pronoun for he. There's no accent above it. Once again, we've got these two vowels that when they're side by side, they just sort of collapse together anyways. So it makes sense just to get rid of the space and make the contraction del. So when de and el are side by side, they always become del. Now we need to keep in mind a couple things with these, but we're going to do some practice first. So I've got some examples here. Take a moment to pause and see if you can write these in Spanish. Watch out for any potential contractions. Right, let's take a look at these. Let's look at the possible translations and possible contractions. So I'm arriving to the museum. Yo llego to the. Now we know to is a, and the for museo is going to be el. So because we've got a and el side by side, we're going to have a contraction here, al. So yo llego al museo. That al represents to the, all in one word. He is coming from the cinema. Él viene. Now we know from is de, and cine is cinema, and it's el. So we'll have del cine, so another contraction. Because de and el are side by side, and they have to combine into del. In English we have the option. Spanish you have to use the contracted form. Now, nosotros sacamos fotos of the books. De, los, because it's going to be libros. These two do not combine, so we leave them separate. De los libros. If de is not next to el, there is no contraction. Then you are talking to the teacher being feminine in this case. Tú hablas. And then we need a personal a, because we're talking to a person. And the teacher's female in this case, so it's going to be la for the. These two do not combine. So a la maestra. No contraction here, since we do not have a next to el. Easy peasy. Now just keep in mind that in Spanish you have to use these contractions, whereas in English we have the option whether to do so or not. So watch out for al and del when they come up. Gracias, buena suerte, adiós.